Okay. Are we live? Anybody home? Yes. We are here for the big event. It's about to start. I don't know if... I think the lineup is already out. Let me double check. Good morning, by the way. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, good whatever time it might be in your location. Let me try to find the lineup. And apologies for my microphone because it might not really sound the way I want it. Because I'm having some serious issues with my microphone. I don't know what is going on here. Interact. All right, so let's go and find the lineup for Chelsea. Let's go here. Boom, bada boom, boom, boom. All right. So the lineup been... What is going on here? The lineup been there for a little while. 4 minutes already. So here we go. We have Sanchez, James, Tosin, Cowell, Cucurella, Lavia, Caicedo, Palmer, Neto, Madueke, and Jackson. I thought Liam Delap was going to start, but it looks like Enzo Maresca chose to go with the odd guard. So yeah, I missed out on one person only, which is Jackson, because I wanted to see Liam Delap. But I think Maresca wanna send a message like, hey, you were with me last season, and still trust you, but let's just wait and see what is going to happen. So anybody, if you are in the building and you want to give me some feedbacks, if you can hear me and you can see me, I don't know. I can't hear myself. And my microphone been giving me issues for a little while now. It's going to be very low or very high tone. I don't know. So let's see. Arsenal for life. Yeah, I think I need to find a way to put the link on the screen. Give me a second. How everybody is feeling about the starting 11, by the way. All right, so you spend pop-up chat. You have to copy this link and paste somewhere. Okay, paste it somewhere here. Try again. Bada boom. Yeah, it's working. Okay, so you have the link on the screen, just in case. Just in case you wanna call. All right. Arsenal for life, champions of Europe. You change to the women team now because it makes you feel good, right? All right. Would be funny if LA won. It's not funny. It's not funny. LAFC are a very good team here. They are champions of the MLS. They qualify for this tournament without a problem. The MLS is in the middle of the season, so everybody is fit, much fitter than Chelsea. I've seen Chelsea lose against teams that we are not supposed to lose. Chelsea are coming from a vacation, a short vacation. Probably they ate a lot of cakes and donut and everything. Can happen. It's football. You can have a red card easily, very quickly, and you're in trouble. You can give away a penalty. They can make life difficult for you. So what are you talking about? You're talking as if you don't know what football is all about. It's gonna be funny. You're looking for something to make you feel good as an Arsenal fans because you don't win anything, right? So why can't you just focus on winning something before coming to us, trying to banter? And even if Chelsea lose today, we still have 2 games to go. We're going to smash all of them. Smash Esperance de Tunis, smash Flamingo. We're going to qualify anyway. So what even the point? Today it's going to be difficult for the players that, listen, a very short, like 10 days, they didn't even relax. All of them went to the national team. All of them. The entire Chelsea team here. All of them, except like Tosin Adrabiayo that didn't go to the national team. All of them are played like since we won the Conference League. 2 days after that, they were already playing another game in the national team, training and traveling all over the world. So our season didn't even stop. It wasn't even a vacation, because I was talking about vacation as if they took a break. No, they went to play other games for the national team. You know, traveled all over the world, South America, Africa, you name it. So you're going to tell me that it's impossible for Chelsea to lose? I've seen Chelsea lose against Corinthians, Brazilian team. I've seen Chelsea lose against League One, League Two. So it's football, bro. It's football. Don't make it sound like this is going to be... So you, Arsenal fans, your trophy is when Chelsea loses. So that's what you're looking for, right? Why can't you just focus on, okay, let's win something for the real banter, you know? We are here. You are not even there. Your name is not even in any Champions League trophy. How are you going to get here? Nothing. You have to corrupt FIFA president and he can change the rules and say a team that wears red in London and play in North London supposed to qualify. If there is no some shady rules, Arsenal will never qualify for a tournament like this. You think Chelsea fans are overconfident? What do you expect us to do? I mean, you want us to come here and say, oh, we're going to lose. Oh, my goodness. No, we have to be positive. We have to show energy. Even if we're going to lose, we have to say we're going to win. This is sport, bro. Come on. It's not all being overconfident. It's the way it is. Now, I don't think we're going to lose today. I think we're going to win. 3-1. 3-1 to Chelsea, you know? 3-1 to the almighty Blues. So, how about that? 3-1. Phantom of many topics. You already on loan somewhere in Germany. I think you were happy yesterday because Bayern Munich won like 10-0 against Auckland City FC. They are from New Zealand. They are part-time football players. Some of them work in farms, some of them in warehouses. Look at their story. The stories behind that team is amazing. I like the story of the underdogs, but they don't have the level. They can't even play against the no league in England. You know, that's how it is. So they were just happy to be there, happy to play against the Hurricane, you know, Musiala, Olise, Neuer. They just came just to enjoy their time. Imagine some of them didn't come because their bosses said, no, if you leave, you're going to leave your job forever. And they say, okay, I'm not going to lose my job. This is what pays my bills. I do football for fun. I'm going to stay here and work in the farm instead of traveling to America to play the Club World Cup. So, Auckland, man, what a team. Yeah, I really like them. The story behind it is just reflects to all of us normal people. People are talking about 5-0 like the Conference League. I don't blame them if they think it's gonna be 5-0. It's just very it's not gonna be an easy game. Like I said, LAFC are in the middle of the season. they are fitter, They are much fit than Chelsea because some of our players just went to the national team and traveled all over the world. So kind of heavy legs, jet leg. They can beat us, but I don't think they're going to do it because we are Chelsea and we're going to smash them. That's the way it is. So let me try to find where the LAFC team, the lineup. Let me try. LAFC. I think it's this one, huh? So the starting 11 for LAFC is here. No Olivier Giroud in the starting 11. Lloris is in goal. I was just interested to see if Olivier Giroud was playing. But tell me if you know many players here. You don't watch the MLS. I watch the MLS, but not regularly. When I am relaxing on the weekend and nothing to do, I can watch because I have Apple subscription. But there is no no Olivier Giroud. But Hugo Lloris is there. The Tottenham Hotspur's legend is there. So you got your answer already, Mr. Arsenal for life. Olivier Giroud left Chelsea and joined. Oh no, he left Arsenal, came to Chelsea to win trophies, big trophies, and then big trophy. When I'm talking about big trophies, not like a Mickey Mouse FA Cup, the Champions League, and also the Champions League and the Europa League against who? Against you lot, Arsenal. So Olivier Giroud came to win. But our player, when they go there, they just lose. They go there for no reason really, because Arsenal don't win anything. Remember when you told me that Jorginho is gonna win the league with Arsenal? He left you, he abandoned you, blah blah blah. You said the same about Kai Havertz. What happened, bro? What happened? Did they win anything? And Sterling, when you say you were laughing at me, ha 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 ha. Sterling, you are paying half of the money, half of salary for him to come and win the league for us. Ha 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 ha. Free loan, and we're gonna win with Raheem Sterling. What happened, bro? So you Arsenal fans, you have to stay humble. Be humble. Mark, let's go.
Yes, sir. You know what? When we are discussing important issues, it's rather just forget about Arsenal supporters and the football club as a whole, because the way they do things, I don't think they can win anything anytime soon, because it's been about how many years?
Arteta
If
been
I'm
there for 6 years.
okay, let's forget about Teta. The last time they were very serious, and I believe they could have maintained that seriousness, was when Arsene Wenger was, there as a coach. I don't know why Arsene Wenger left, whether it was the decision from the club or from
But he
Arsene
was
Wenger.
forced out. Remember when Wenger out became a thing? The whole
Yeah,
YouTube fans started there
he
where
he was
24/7.
very good coach. Like, he was a coach who could have won a whole lot of things for the football club, but for some reason they got rid of him, and ever since then it hasn't been better. And if you look at the records, anybody who wants to win something will just come from Arsenal to Chelsea and they will win something. Look at Ashley Cole. We can also mention of
Olivier
Giroud.
Giroud, yeah.
We have a whole lot of them who moved from Arsenal and came to Chelsea, and they were able to, win something. So that football club, they have to be serious. If they really want to win something, they need to check their signings. They need to bring some quality players. And also, I don't know if Mateta is a good coach, but from what he's doing, he need he needs some support. He need a slight, help from the board and getting the right players. And I believe if they are able to do that, they can win something. But the way it stands
Well,
right now,
let me correct you right there.
mhm.
Oh, the board need to support and they will be able. No, they've been supporting him. Arteta is a manager, one of the few managers in the Premier League. Him and Pep Guardiola are managers. Pretty much every single team now they have head coaches where they bring players and you just your job is to coach. But Arsenal has the title of a manager. He decided with the scout, the sporting directors, who to bring in the team and who to get out. So he's been given money. It's not like he's not
Well, then
supported. Let me
that
finish
is
this. Let me finish. Let me
you
finish. I would
you
let you
don't have
finish.
to continue. Then that is his own problem. I thought probably he's being controlled by the board and
No,
that's what.
the decision making been poor from Arteta. He been given him money. Everybody knows that they are lacking a number 9 for years since Aubameyang left. What he does, he buys a bunch of defenders again and again and again. He's gonna buy like 1,000 goalkeepers, 100
The,
left backs, and then he continued to
the
trust
the
Kai
problem,
Havertz to.
what I even hate is I hate a football club, and my club is also one of those football club. Like if you look at Man City and Liverpool, the way they do their transfers is just so amazing. They don't waste time. If they want something, they plan ahead of time. So before they get into maybe off season, trainings and all those things, they have a collective of the team and they can just do something out there. But if you look at Chelsea and all those teams, we will just wait maybe 2 weeks before the season start. Then you bring a new player. How is the player going to, get fit and also acclimatize in the new environment? So sometimes if we need something, we probably have to act fast and do things. And yesterday I watched our boy live at MetLife Stadium, and I've seen a whole lot of people talking about this young guy, Estevao, and I was glad to watch him live from MetLife Stadium. In fact, if you look at the boy, he is a very talented player, and I will urge the physical trainers to work a lot on his physique. I know sometimes he can handle the ball at a very long time. But if you are not very strong in the Premier League, you are going to struggle. It's something they need to work out for him. He still needs some, energy. He has to build up. Like if you want to play in the Premier League, you need to build up. You can't be so fragile. And if you do that, a lot of the defenders are going to bully you. But from what I saw yesterday at MetLife Stadium, he's really a fantastic player. And even playing with Palmeiras, I wouldn't say they are the best, but at least when it comes to Chelsea and he has a lot of quality players around him, his game is going to be more, perfect as compared to his current club. Because if you come and you meet Palmer, you have Enzo, you have a whole lot of players around you, it will boost your morale, it will bring the best out of you. And from what I saw,
Also, first of
mhm,
all, this season when he came from the break from the break of the Brazilian league, when they started the season, he really gained some muscles, and you can say there are so many videos on social media, on so
mm,
many pictures that show you before and after. So he's buckling up. Second
yeah,
of all,
he has
you don't
to.
want. Let me finish this. You have to let me like make my point because I forget a lot. Second of all, he also we have also to be very careful about everybody needs to buckle up. everybody need to be a Lukaku. Everybody need to be Adama Traore. Because certain players, you have to let them grow naturally. He's a freaking 18 years old. Like 2 days ago, he was 17. So you don't want to like force muscles that will create even more
No,
injuries in
we
you.
are not talking about
So
muscles here.
you
What I'm trying to
learning to the physicality is gonna come naturally in the Premier League. You see, Palmer, he's just like he doesn't eat anything. He's like starving. That's brother. But look at him. You can tell that he's getting physical. Getting physical on the game doesn't mean necessarily have those muscles. So
no
I don't know if that makes
what
sense.
no, even the muscles is not that important, but we're talking about the energy, the strength. You don't have to be very. I'm trying to look for a player who was very. Even if you look at Claude Makelele, Makelele wasn't somebody who was very, muscular. But when it comes to 50-50 balls, you could feel it. He doesn't mind going into it with Lukaku or a very
And probably
tough,
when you saw Estivao yesterday, the boy is trying to play his football, but also he doesn't want to get injured because he want to start
Yeah,
the
that's what
season
I
with
was telling
Chelsea.
somebody. He was
So
very careful. He
yeah,
was very careful.
he's
And
thinking already about the Premier League next season.
of
He's
course,
gonna
I
play.
agree with you. I told somebody that look at what this boy is doing. You think he's very stupid to go for 50-50 challenges for him
And
to
still
get hurt?
got the man of the match yesterday.
Of
That's just
course.
to put it there. Like even though many people critics, I think mostly came from opposition teams
Opposition teams,
who are
like,
like jealous of wow, what a player. So they will find something to
of
discourage
course,
you to say, oh my goodness, what a mistake. But hey, listen, even Neymar when
this
yeah,
this
go.
boy, whenever he gets the ball, he can do so many
You
things with the
think
ball. But he
something
was
is
very
gonna happen?
careful.
Yeah.
He was very careful, and the game was very cagey. This is a game everywhere was crowded. He wouldn't go and mess up, and at the end of the day, he's going to sit down for at least 6 months before he start playing the Premier League. And I
Yeah.
will urge him; he has to be very careful because this thing is nothing for him. He has to concentrate on his upcoming season than the Club World Cup. At the end of the day, I don't think Palmeiras is even going to win the tournament, so he shouldn't put a lot.
Yeah.
But if you see his touches and everything, the
He-
defenders in the Premier League got to be very careful because he's going to play one of his best season at the Premier League, and he's going to take on a lot of defenders. He doesn't care taking on defenders. He did a lot yesterday, but
The
I think
problem also before we go and let me just say hi to Aziz. I'm not neglecting you. It's just we were trying to conclude the call.
Hello, my brothers.
Hello. Are
hey
you still
Aziz,
at
what's
Welcome
up?
work or
back.
you home?
Yeah, no, I'm going to work. Oh,
Okay.
I just came from Atlanta.
All right. Yeah, I thought you were going to the stadium today
No,
because
no, no, not today, not today, not today.
okay.
I just came from Atlanta. I want to go do my you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I want to go. So it was a good news for me.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what do you think about the game today? The starting 11.
Huh?
Did you see the starting 11?
I was watching your video when you were saying about the starting 11. So,
Mm.
oh, it's a full squad. Let's go out there. Let's take this game serious. I've seen Bayern Munich beating 8-0, 9-0. Seen other teams beating 4-0. Let's take it serious.
Yeah, I don't think
Before,
we're gonna win
I was
5-0.
like before. I wasn't taking this game serious, but now I want to win this squad.
Mm. Yeah,
I just want the
we're gonna
shot.
do it. We're gonna win it. Jackson, your brother Jackson with a hat trick today. Don't worry about it because
It's like you just want to give me a heart attack.
because this time around he knows that Delap is on the bench, so you will see a different Jackson now. Because Guy wasn't like a threat for him. Guy was like, yeah, he's another kid. I'm the number one, no matter what's gonna happen. Now Delap is watching. You don't do
What do you
good,
think they should do
you
to
are
Guy?
out. Huh?
Should he go alone to the what's it called, championship?
What about championship? What do you mean?
I'm asking Mr. Mack and
Oh,
Mr. Hood.
mm-hmm.
Do you think he should go to the championship and learn the game well? To play
I
one.
think
No, they should take him to Strasbourg. He needs more an advanced league. more playing time in the advanced league than to play at the
But to
championship.
be honest, championship is a very good league, though. It's a
It's
very
good
good
though,
league.
but
It's tougher than the Premier League. You know that?
Huh?
Championship is tougher than the Premier League.
Yeah, in terms of
the
they
pace,
play
I
every
think the
3
championship
days.
pace is very fast. They play like fast football,
Very
but
fast, physical, and games are coming like every 3 days, like boom, boom. They have like 24 teams over there. It's just like a war zone over there. Very,
if
very
they
tough.
can find something in Germany or Spain or France for him, I will like it so much. But if the championship
But
is something,
mm,
he will
what
go.
Aziz is saying is right because of the physicality. If he goes to Germany and he goes to Spain, you can play in La Liga, but against like Cadiz, against Flair League. You play in the championship, you learn how that is like getting. People are really getting on you, but whatever it is, my problem now is like he need to play games.
And
Week in and
the
week
point
out,
is,
like
oh,
have to play.
the point is, if he's able to also get a Premier League side, that will give him the opportunity to play constantly. That wouldn't be bad because I know most players who went to other Premier League teams came back and they were able to regain their position. So it's something he shouldn't rule out. If maybe some of the teams that are coming from championship, a team like Sunderland needs somebody to
Yeah, that's what
play
the
for.
People's Republic say here. He needs to go to Sunderland. But you don't go to a team for the pleasure of going. You have to
No,
go
play
if
time.
you are sure to play. And the reality on loan is different than what you think. What happens on loan is sometimes you are there just to do the job. They don't care about developing you. Rare, very rare you will see a player go on loan and play week in, week out because they have also to prepare their own players for next season. You are here on loan, you're gonna go back to where you belong. Rare, like I that's why I always thank somebody like Patrick Vieira or Frank Lampard when he was at Derby. He doesn't care about giving a chance week in, week out to like loanees in his team. But other teams, they are giving you a chance, but they are checking also on what is going to happen next season. You're going back to Chelsea. We are doing this job for Chelsea. And if we have somebody, one of us from the academy, doing pretty good, you will find yourself on the bench often. And that has nothing to do with your quality because online people are going to tell you, oh, but you went and Norwich and you didn't play and you are bad. No, there is no such a thing when it comes to loan. Harry Kane, how many years he was at Norwich without even having a game? They had to recall him. And Tim Sherwood was like, okay, let's just give this kid a chance and look, the rest is history. But he was there on the bench. He can't play for 2 years, like few minutes here, 10 minutes there. So people who don't understand football or never really be in the middle of all this, behind the scenes, they just think that if you are on loan, you don't play, automatically you're a bad player because that manager don't trust you. No, you are there to do the job, to help them win games, get 3 points. They don't care about your development of week in, week out. So Mark Gill, before he goes to on loan, make sure that loan he's gonna play at least 50%. That's why Chelsea now are including some clauses like if they don't play this kind of a certain amount of games, we can recall him in January. We did the same for Andre Santos. We didn't even recall. He wasted a freaking season at Nottingham Forest. Are you gonna tell me that he's bad? That's why he didn't play? It's the same politics, the same in every single team. You are on loan. You are just there to help them. They don't care about your development. So that Strasbourg makes sense because that is one of our sisters clubs. So they don't really care playing you week in, week out. They develop you. They are developing somebody in the family. So we have to be really, really careful about where to send somebody and put some very tough clauses in the contract where You play less than 50%, we recall you. You're gonna even pay us a fee. That's the way it's supposed to be now. Or go play under Frank Lampard, who would develop him like he did with Mason Mount, Tomori, and all that. Tammy Abraham also got developed because John Terry was the assistant manager there. So John Terry, with the gaffer they gave, Tammy Abraham was playing like week in and week out. Lampard, yeah, but Lampard still also got his own players, his own academy now that he can promote. Lampard is the guy who gave Anthony Gordon the chance to play in the Premier League week in, week out at Everton. He's good at that, but I don't think he's going to also take all the junks from Chelsea to just develop them. And then you go back to your club next season. And I'm sure, fingers crossed. I'm not sure or sure, but I hope that they get promoted. So he will be also thinking about what is going to happen next season. Are we going to get this player on permanent? That's the way it is. Okay. Yeah, man. Things are getting more excited here. Let's go to... And there are also some other games today. But I'm going to focus more on the Chelsea game.
The LAFC team, we should have paraded the second, side. Because I've watched LAFC this season and they are not really that, good. So I'm surprised that we are just going to parade our first team for this match. We could have rested the big guy.
You never know.
Well, maybe they can show up. We
want to send a statement. Yesterday, Bayern Munich played against farmers. Most of them work in farms. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's not even a banter because there is an entire document.
I know warehouse. I know one of them.
An entire documentary on DAZN explaining some of them farmers, some of them work like assistant nurses in the hospital. Another one is like a farmer. Somebody didn't even have the boss didn't let him go, so he stayed in New Zealand. So they are part-time guys who just come to kick the ball on the weekend. But Bayern Munich play the big team. They play Harry Kane, Michael Olise, Neuer, everybody, like all the big guns, Coman. And after the game, they ask Olise, do you feel sorry for Auckland City FC? He's like, no, it's football. You play, you respect them, and you play your game. Because if we don't do it, if we don't play our football, it's going to be like we didn't respect the game. So that is respecting the game. Win. And not say, oh, no, it's 10. So let's feel sorry. We don't want to make it 12. If they had a chance to score 12, they were going to do it. So I think...
And I honestly think that this tournament has shown a lot of, prospect. And I was so glad. Like, the opening game, I wasn't expecting such a match. Look at the tempo. Look at the excitement. And I think FIFA has really done well for putting up this thing. I'm so surprised that the tournament has been so successful so far. Attendance and the displays and everything.
People come to enjoy. The problem is people make theories without any kind of evidence. Like they're just waiting. Oh, America. Oh, you know nothing. You are soccer and you are NFL.
Man, people shouldn't say that because if you talk of soccer, the US have come a long way and they don't even know they have the largest population from South America and Africa where we don't play with our soccer. When I went to the stadium yesterday, my God, the Palmeiras supporters. So I said, all these people are living in America. Like, if you see the flags, the number of people that showed up, it's like you are in Brazil.
The previous day, they took over the Times Square in New York. They took over like full of...
The Palmeiras supporters, bro.
And also even Boca Junior. Boca Junior, today they took over New York. So they have a lot of
the
fans.
the 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 the, euphoria and everything around the stadium was so like magnetic. Like I said, wow, FIFA has really done well. Something like that, you could have seen a very low attendance and it wouldn't be. It took me almost like how many minutes? Almost 30 minutes to get a parking. And after the game, it took like almost an hour for me to get out of the stadium. So it tells you how the whole, tournament is
Yeah,
going.
and at the beginning, what people don't understand is this is that like the time people coming back from work and whatever. So at
Yeah.
the beginning, you might see empty seat, but that is normal. It,
Oh
it
no, but
start it start filling up and filling up as the game go. You will see, and they are breaking record of like fans in stadium. But the way
yeah.
it was presented to the world, especially pundit and whatever from Europe and whatever, they try to make it looks like everything there is original and is good, and everything in America here, oh yeah, they know nothing, they don't like soccer. And if you take everything to context and perspective, you see how United States is built. Like one state can take the entire European Union. In Europe, you can travel by train, take a metro 1 hours, you are in Paris from London. You watch the game, you take another train, you are back in London and home. The transportation is very good because the countries are so small. You don't have to struggle. Here, everybody got a car. Get now on the road. It's 3 o'clock almost. Get on the road and you're gonna struggle. You might be 2 hours just to leave the freaking Louisville, Kentucky to get to the interstate because it's
Yeah.
so jammed. Like people don't understand that you coming from work, you tired, you going to the game, you stuck in the traffic because you have to drive. There is no transportation, public. Everybody got a car here. It's
Yeah.
not
Europe,
New
you can
York.
move
You can
from.
find some metros or whatever. The country is so huge that people just don't take to consideration all those elements, and they will just bombard you with the news. They've never been here. They don't know how our culture, how it is here. And oh, look at the stadium, it's still empty. It's still. Do you want me to drive now freaking to Atlanta? How many hours it's gonna take me? Hello, 11 hours or so to drive to Atlanta and come. Like, this is not like you live in Europe. In Europe is simple. You can organize public transport. You loan a bus and all the friends in the same bus and you go. So it's completely different, and people need to stop making theories for something that they don't know.
Yeah, you were right because I would have loved to go watch PSG, but from here to LA is like me going to London from New Jersey. So sometimes it's not everything that you can, not all the games that you can go watch. Like for instance, Chelsea is playing in Atlanta. If I have to fly, I will spend almost an hour or maybe two. If you are driving, that one is even out of
Yeah,
context.
that's the
So
problem people do understand. You have to book a hotel. You have
sometimes
to leave your kid and wife at home. You have to fly there, book a hotel, take a Uber, take you to your hotel, take you to the stadium, a lot of stuff, and you have a freaking walk tomorrow morning. What are you gonna do? In Europe,
unlike Europe where you can hop into a train
yeah,
from one
you just
city to
jump
the other
yourself to
or
a train. 1 hour, you are in Paris. You don't even
yeah,
have to book a hotel there. You can just go
return.
there and get your coffee, get your donut outside, get the stadium, come back, boom, take your train, you gone. That's the way it is
The
because you are.
system here is totally different. Like everyone has a car, as you were saying. So if sometimes you have to organize some of these things, especially out of state,
Mhm.
it will be
Since
very difficult. Like it will be very, very, very difficult for you to go to some of these games.
so since I've been here, because I lived in New York City for like 8 months. That is
Mm.
where I used to take like the normal transportation because there are no
Yeah.
parking lot. Since
Oh
I
yeah.
moved from New York to Chicago, I got a car. I've never ever took a public transport again because what are you gonna do with it? It's just so complicated, and it's gonna just take you time and
Oh, you
time.
live in Chicago before.
Yeah, I left in Chicago. I lived in New York and then Chicago, and then I moved to Kentucky because I don't like the craziness. The
Yeah.
craziness of big city just make me mad.
Yeah, you could have looked into cities in New Jersey. There are some quiet cities in New Jersey where you could have enjoyed, life here.
I love
Like
it here. I love it here in Kentucky.
yeah,
It's quiet. It's a lot of forest, and it's still it's still like a jungle. It's the nature.
yeah.
It's just a jungle here. So I love it quiet
Wow.
and with the rednecks. So it is what it is.
You said with the rednecks are everywhere.
Yeah, I'm in
Every-
the but not in the bad sense though. The
Mm,
rednecks, that is the way they are called. Those, American original, like you see them with big beer and doing like traditional stuff. But
with
I
their
love them.
motors,
Yeah,
with their
I love them.
motors
I
and
live in the middle of them. They don't hurt anybody. I live in the really
mm,
redneck country. That's the way it is.
yeah. Somebody told me Kentucky and all those areas. These are some of the challenges. But hey, it is what it is. Like I remember there was a time I was going to Charlotte and I passed through West Virginia. Listen, I got like $400 worth of tickets in that state, and I say, yo, there is no way I'll pass.
Oh, they
If
have
I'm
a lot of like toll places where when you pass, they send you a ticket. You have to pay stuff.
no, this
Pay.
one was violation.
Oh, violation of.
Violation, yeah. That was long time ago, about 15 years ago. It was a violation, and ever since then, if I'm going to Charlotte, I will take 95. You go
Yeah, it is.
through the DMV area, then you are there in
Which
Charlotte.
is really. One day, I I bought a I bought a car in another state from a friend, and
Mm.
I had to fly and get a car and drive with the car. So I pay like one way ticket,
No,
and
okay.
then I have to go through Tennessee. I have to go through Tennessee, and every time I'm speeding, I got stopped on the road like 3 times
Hmm.
because I
Well,
was speeding. So the speed in their state is completely different than our speed
yeah, like
in my state. So there are certain things that you think just
you
because
can.
I'm in America, it's the same. But every state kind of
They
got their own laws and
they said
regulations
Texas
and
you
stuff.
can go as high as 100, and I said, wow, that's the place I would love to be. They say you can go as high as 100, you know, on the road, like on the highway. But in New Jersey, the highest you could go is about 65. So if
That
you
is
don't
very
take it,
slow though. In
yeah.
Kentucky, it's yeah, you can even reach 80 on 100, no problem.
Oh
That's
wow,
why I was stopped a lot because I got stopped. What saved me is like I have the you know Kentucky ID and stuff, so they understand at the time. Hey, slow down, bro. Slow down.
wow. You guys are lucky. Over here in Jersey, the highest you see on the highway is 65. So if you don't take care and you pass through where the cops are everywhere, then boom, they will just stop you and give you a nice package. If
Me, I didn't get any ticket that day because they understand that I am from another state. I think they deal with this kind of because we are neighbors, and then
Okay.
their laws is completely different than ours. So I think they deal with the issues often. So I wasn't the only person to violate it or whatever. They just tell you, hey, slow
So
down. That's it.
Kentucky, which city is the biggest?
Louisville,
Oh, Louisville, yeah,
Louisville,
yeah.
Louisville, Kentucky, but it's not the capital. The capital is Frankfurt.
Oh, I never heard about that. I know about Louisville, but
So Louisville, and then the second city could be Lexington.
Lexington, I've also heard. I know some
Lexington,
who
because
live
of
in
University of Kentucky is from Lexington. It's like 45 minutes away from where I live. And
Lexington.
we have Paris. We have a very good town here called Paris, Kentucky. We have Boston, and then we have those little town here, and then Elizabethtown and stuff like that.
Wow.
But Louisville is just like the metropole. It's just like a huge, like big city. But after that, the countryside is.
I mean, I prefer like suburban like type of area.
Mm.
Yeah. Uh, If you give me a place like New York City, no, hell to the no. I've never liked New York City, and I don't think I will be able to live there, even for a week or something.
Yeah,
Parking
New
is
York is
so like crazy. Everything.
it's built from like a Europe model of apartment are very small. The parking lot are not there, very expensive. People are rude. Many people on the road honking at you all the time if you don't speed. Like go is like they are forcing you to speed. Like people cursing at you when you're driving slow. It's
Life is like you are on
crazy.
a time bomb. Like you are
Yeah,
on a
the,
time
the
bomb.
time is
Like
like ticking very, very fast. People are going to the Wall Street. People are going to this business. It's just
it's
crazy.
so crazy. Like if you give me a place like San Diego, I will easily take it because when I was in San Diego, the only thing I didn't like was the how do we call it, homeless situation in San Diego. And somebody told me LA is even worse. What you see, like
Yeah.
people are staying on the pavement with the tents and everything. But apart from that, I would take San Diego at any time. It's a nice place.
San
No.
Francisco even worse. But not long ago, I was in San Francisco.
Mm.
It's even worse than the homeless situation from that part of the country is a real issue. But every
They have
every
to.
every
Some of
time
these
every
guys,
state got their own
yeah.
issues of
If you
homeless.
are not a career person, I wouldn't encourage you to live in California as a whole because everything is expensive in California. So if you don't have the necessary job to give you enough money to make life there, then obviously you can never survive in California because even look at their taxes. Everything is expensive out there. So something like that, you can move to Arizona or some place where housing and everything is a bit cheaper than to live there and stay on the street. It's so bad. And
Well,
per what
if
I've
you
been
go to
hearing,
big metro like big cities like Los Angeles and wherever, but if you live like Harlem, just down LA, you can also find some normal living there because
mm,
my cousin she lives there. I went there and I found kind of normal life. She works in LA, but she doesn't want to live there because in the suburb where she
it's cheaper.
is good, is cheaper, it's
Oh
just
well,
kind of normal than thing,
I
than
see.
than other places. So
I never look into that.
yeah, so that's all here to consider. Mr. Victor is in the house. We still have 10 minutes because I'm gonna disconnect and watch this game properly and come back at halftime. Mr. Victor, how you been?
I've been good, Mr. Clown. How's it going?
Yeah, Mr. Clown is doing good, and today my boy Jackson with a hat trick.
Who's gonna play? Who's gonna score a hat trick?
Nicholas
Oh
Jackson.
Lord God Almighty! You have so much faith in this man. The thing is he's he's not the kind of player that who is even interested in a hat trick. There are some players that when they score one, they are so they get so bask in the glory of scoring a goal. The ones that when they score one, they go out there and shushes everybody up, and because they are always having this antagonistic relationship with the fan base because everybody talks about the fact that they are ineffectual as strikers, and when they score one, they want to show people that they've scored. And so they are shushing people, and I know that I'm going after him. All strikers do that when they have been barring of goals for a while. But Jackson is the kind that after one or two, he has fulfilled his quota in his brain. You could tell. I mean, not to say that when there's a ball in front of him, he won't shoot, but he won't put the extra step in it, extra run in it to score more goals. The football, everybody has two legs. Everybody has everything else that the other player has. The only thing that differentiates one player from the other in any position in this game, in a modern game, is the IQ, your brain, your football knowledge on what is that is expected, your sense of place on the field. And I feel like some of these players that Chelsea, invest in, do not go to that length at all. And I think it's a culture that we need to really, banish from this club. So for me, yes, if he
Do
scores
you
today,
think that
like I,
Delap signing Delap is gonna push Jackson, for
oh,
example, to do better?
I still, Delap was this. Everybody's saying, oh, he was in Ipswich. Ipswich is not a very a penetrating team, and it's not a very good team, and he scores 12. The only benefit I'll give him is that that was still in the Premier League. So of course he knows the pace, the what is it called, the physicality of the league. I have always a problem with players who play in other leagues that doesn't have that millions of eyeballs looking at them. That alone brings its own tension, and the fact that wherever you go, the defense of Bournemouth will not let you run circles over them, because they know that if they do well, they will get promoted. They will get a chance for somebody else looking at them and getting them a better deal next time to a better team. Which makes, that is why everybody says the Premier League is a tough one, because every team, even if the team is not doing well, there's a singular individual in there who wants to shine and get and look at by other better teams, and then get a promotion in terms of salary and everything. So for me, Delap, to answer your question, Delap is still yet to be seen. He might even go out there and do very well in this tournament. I understand he's not playing necessarily starting today, but like I said, it's always glass half full for me, half empty for me, in a sense that he has to come to a Premier League, to a team that has eyes on him to score every single game, not 12 out of 39 games. So you are hailed as a good player, but every single game you'll be expected to score. So there will be games that he will flop so badly that, because everybody is now looking at him and expecting him to score because he's at Chelsea, the negativity will start pouring in, and that will adulterate the purism that he has as a neat striker.
With instant
You
updates, so
see
you
all
never
of
miss
these
a big moment.
spliced together goals that he has scored, or anytime he was very influential in the Ipswich team, and it seems like he's a good player. You could do that with any player on earth, and they will seem like they are great players, because that's all you see over and over again in a course of 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes. But when in a span of time in a 90 minutes game, in 16 matches, home and away, and all that what comes into it, and I believe that when you consider all of those things, the players that are able to pull through that and still remain outstanding are the players that you always should talk about. So, well, I wish him well. He's at Chelsea. I love my club. I want him to do well. I think that he has something else that Jackson doesn't have, in terms of his ability to dribble, and he's fast on the ball. He protects the ball better in a way. Jackson is unpredictable. Jackson can be extremely amazing in a minute, and then the next minute he has an open or yawning pole, and he puts it on the other side. We are yet to see what Jackson also never took free kicks, don't take penalties,
Yeah.
and all of those things is good for a striker. I don't know teams that allow other players to take penalties when they have strikers.
Well, the problem is it's judged in training. Normally you give your man, and most of the time your number 9, because you want to boost his numbers the end of the day. But when you have somebody who takes it better than you, who is more confident than you, and sometimes you have to change, because now it's Palmer. And that is a good point.
No, but Messi himself, the so-called arguably the goat of our game, right? He misses penalties all the time. But who dare takes the ball away from Messi? Now you can say that Messi is in a whole stratosphere on his own, so you cannot argue with that. He's shown improving in the game.
You're a big man,
but,
so your big
no,
man
but
doesn't
it
have
shouldn't
to be always
your
number 10,
striker,
number 9.
Your striker, if you wanna add, make sure that the confidence grows. The confidence grows with him putting the ball at the back of the net. And what chances are there for him to do? Let him miss some, especially in games that are insignificant. Let him go out there and miss some, and then find a strategy.
Coming out, people, yes.
And find a strategy to really beat what is it called? Beat the players. If he doesn't do it, he doesn't practice often, especially under pressure. Because when you play like a game like a final, and everybody has to take penalties, and it comes to the number 10, number 9 of of your team, and you cannot even put him out there, that tells you enough about the coach's strategy. You should really make your striker. You should boost his confidence, put him out there for him to learn from his mistakes by failing. I mean, you don't tell me that Saka is not going to play a penalty anymore because he missed a couple for England. You know, he still has to be training and working on it to make sure that when he's put in front of him, he will play the ball. He'll play the ball to the net. So that's my 2 cents when it comes to Jackson and what he offers.
So what do you think about the game now? Because I have to switch.
Oh, you know,
I will be back at half.
I saw
Scott
somewhere
prediction
that
today.
I know I saw somewhere that we should beat this slot by 5-0 or whatever. I am yet to see. I am yet to see the what is it called, the menacing attitude of Chelsea. Let's say 2-1 or 3-1 Chelsea.
All right.
Yeah.
Listen, brothers, I will see you at halftime. Let me just focus on this game because I want to watch it religiously. So, people, I'm gonna leave the commentary on the screen now, and I will be back at halftime.
With many different names for when the summer transfer window opens after failing to make a couple of additions that they wanted to ahead of this Club World Cup tournament. The captain is Reece James, who is back into the starting lineup today for Chelsea in the right back position. He missed the 2021 Club World Cup with an injury. Here come LAFC, and the first player out, Jeremy Ebobisse, who keeps his place up top in the starting lineup today from the side that played against Club America in the playing game, which means former Chelsea man Olivier Giroud doesn't get the start, but he's primed to make some headlines coming in off the bench against his old club.
Well, if he has anywhere near close to the performance that he did coming off the bench against Club America, Stevie Cherundolo and LAFC will be in a really good place. His hold-up play was impeccable, but more importantly, it was continuously being an option in the attacking phase of play. Quick combinations, little flicks, ingenuity, creation, and it was exactly what was needed, taking advantage of a Club America side that was coming off the disappointing loss in the Clausura final on the road at Toluca.
LAFC 100% healthy. Steve Cherundolo said not even a cold within the LAFC camp heading into this one. It is the perfect position for them to be in, heading to a showdown with Chelsea of the Premier League here at the Club World Cup.
One of the things, talking to Steve Cherundolo 2 weeks ago in the build-up to the Club America match, Luke, was they were in a 10-game unbeaten run, 10 games without a loss. Their last loss was that loss against Miami in the CONCACAF Champions Cup quarterfinals on the road in Miami. And he said within the disappointment of being knocked out of the tournament, there was a silver lining. And that silver lining was that his group, the entirety, could get back on the training pitch and work on the details, something that they didn't feel they were capable of doing with so many games in such a short amount of time. And their attention divested between CONCACAF Champions Cup and Major League Soccer.
A few boos there for Hugo Lloris, the former Tottenham goalkeeper, from some of the fans, I'm sure, in Chelsea jerseys here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. This, the opening game of Group D. Flamengo and Esperance will play later on tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time in Philadelphia, the other two teams in the group. So here is the Chelsea starting lineup, and there are 4 changes from the side that started the Europa Conference League final just under 3 weeks ago, with James, Tosin, Colwill and Lavia coming in.
Well, 3 changes across that back line, the 2 center backs, and reintroducing Reece James, who had come on as a substitute right at the second half against Real Betis when they had that clear opportunity from U.S. International Johnny to make it 2-0. But this is about Cole Palmer. And this is the opportunity for Cole Palmer to establish himself as a global superstar as Chelsea look to pick up another trophy.
LAFC with the experience of Hugo Lloris at the back and the same 11 named by Steve Cherundolo that started the playing game against Club America.
Well, the idea is Igor Jesus sits at the bottom of that triangle. He'll protect, he'll disrupt, he'll distribute. Nathan Ordaz, the homegrown product, and El Salvadoran international on that right-hand side. But the story for LAFC is about Denny Bouanga. 9 goals, 3 assists in his last 10 matches.
The FIBA Women's Euro.
In downtown Atlanta, the venue for the opening game on match day 3 at the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. Can Major League Soccer's LAFC, appearing in their first Club World Cup, cause the biggest upset of this tournament so far by getting a positive result against Chelsea? Chelsea finishing 4th in the Premier League this season, qualifying for the Champions League for next year. And Robert Sanchez gets the call in goal at one end. Hugo Lloris, the World Cup winner, at the other. Steve Cherundolo saying that Hugo Lloris and Olivier Giroud had both been very impactful in the dressing room this week in the build-up to this game, especially with some of the younger players, just letting them know what the experience would be like and what to expect from playing against a team like Chelsea. Chelsea will come into this thinking that they have an opportunity to win the Club World Cup. But can they get off to a winning start against LAFC in Atlanta? The first game of 3 on the day underway as Group D kicks off. LAFC, the 2022 MLS Cup winners, 2-time Supporters' Shield winners in Major League Soccer. That goes to the best team with the most points over the course of the regular season. It has been an incredibly successful start for LAFC, who are now in their 8th Major League Soccer season, making the playoffs 6 times in 7 seasons in the league. But this is a completely different prospect, as Ryan Hollingshead, former Dallas man, brings the ball forward. Hollingshead continuing to chase as Reece James gets that one back towards Robert Sanchez, who was spoken about by Enzo Maresca in the press conference yesterday here in Atlanta. A lot of questions about the #1 position going forward, and Enzo Maresca said right now Robert Sanchez is my #1. Chelsea being linked with Mike Maignan at AC Milan. They have Philip Jorgensen on the bench, but Sanchez given the faith of his manager at this moment in time. Played forward by Tim Tillman down the right side, looking for Nathan Ordaz. The central defensive pairing, Aaron Long at the back alongside Eddie Segura.
Right, 2 ways to look at this, Luke, for the first couple of minutes of the match. For LAFC, it's about building confidence through simple possession. For Chelsea, it's trying to figure out what the structure of LAFC looks like.
Hollingshead charging forward, gets that ball off to the right side, and Nathan Ordaz towards the edge of the area here. Pulled back for Tillman. Headed away by Neto for Chelsea. And Cole Palmer feeding it up towards halfway. The chase was on from Nicholas Jackson. Nothing was given there by the assistant referee or the man in the middle, as LAFC were wanting a free kick. Into the midfield for Lavia, the Belgian midfielder who gets the chance to start this one today for Chelsea. Just 21 years old. He wasn't named in the Conference League squad, but he did make plenty of appearances towards the end of the season. In fact, 5 in a row in the Premier League, including 3 starts.
Two teams that are more than comfortable in simple possession, but in reality much more confident in transition moments. Really interested to see which team tactically allows the other team to have the simplicity of the ball, trying to keep the game in front of them, because as we all know, if you've watched LAFC, those transition moments, Denny Bouanga is one of the best, if not the best, in Major League Soccer.
Madueke down the left side. Back it comes for Lavia. Romeo Lavia in for Cole Palmer just outside of the penalty area here. Palmer trying to create the space as it comes across to the far side. The jersey swarming around Madueke as LAFC try to clear. Palencia over there defending Tillman as well. Madueke in towards Kukurea, and Kukurea over the bar.
Well, the number might have changed from Cole Palmer switching from number 20 to number 10, but certainly has the ability and the freedom from that man, Enzo Maresca, to find the game, always popping up in dangerous spots. And he's so elegant with that wand of a left foot.
Enzo Maresca coming to the end of his first season in charge at Chelsea, the 4th permanent manager under the ownership group currently in charge of the club. Is Colwill, the 22-year-old English-born defender, forward looking for Nicholas Jackson, but it comes back towards halfway. Now pushed for Ordaz down the right side. Up against Kukurea. Back into the midfield. Jesus with a high ball out wide to the left. This is Denny Bouanga. And the French-born Gabon international couldn't do anything with that.
Oh, the intelligence of both of these players, Denny Bouanga and Reece James, only added because of the physicality.
Madueke running at the heart of the back line. Push forward towards Nicholas Jackson. Jackson turns and straight at Hugo Lloris.
Well, Love's running the line, aggressive, trying to split the 2 center backs, and feels the pressure of Eddie Segura, and somehow, with a level of athleticism and that acute balance, gets a shot off and tests the gloves of Hugo Lloris. Big challenge for both Aaron Long and Eddie Segura to keep an eye on the number 15 for Chelsea.
Nicholas Jackson has scored in this stadium before for Chelsea against Newcastle in a pre-season game here in 2023. Chelsea playing in Atlanta twice in pre-season matches in recent years. They drew with Newcastle that day when Nicholas Jackson scored. They lost 3-0 last summer here against Club America in a friendly, or a 3-0 win, I should say, against the Mexican Giants. A venue that is not new to LAFC either, having played here against Atlanta United. Neto down the right side. Delgado clears away up towards halfway.
Oh, as much as Steve Cherundolo will want to see Jeremy Abobisi score goals this afternoon, at times it'll be even more important his hold-up play. Understanding that LAFC is going to need an extra beat building out of the back.
Jesus just got caught there for a minute as the ball was stolen away by Cole Palmer, but fortuitous bounce for LAFC, and Delgado, the former Toronto FC man, won a treble with them in 2017, was able to bring it out to this left side, and here is Denny Bouanga. Such a goal-scoring threat in recent years for LAFC. No way through this time for Denny Bouanga, who leads the team in goals and assists this season. 12 goals, 6 assists in 22 appearances in all competitions for Denny Bouanga, who patrols the left side of the three-pronged LAFC attack.
And don't be surprised to see Pedro Neto, the number 7 at the bottom of your screen. Tireless work rate, and his effort to back press and help out Reece James is going to be really, really important when Denny Bouanga's isolated 1v1 out wide.
LAFC won here on their last visit to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. 1-0 victory with a Bogusz goal in late May last year. They lost the first 2 times they were here. And that will be a stoppage in play because the ball, as Lavia tried to get it away, just hit the referee, Jesus Valenzuela, who has been on the FIFA list since 2013. Refereed the Intercontinental Cup final in Qatar in December as Real Madrid beat Pachuca 3-0.
You just think about the options that Enzo Maresca has in the central part of the midfield with Enzo Fernandez starting on the bench. Moises Caicedo, so good this season. Not a single person brought up his transfer fee in 2024-2025. And if the health of the Belgian right there, the number 45, Lavia, continues, this 21-year-old very quietly might be the best of the 3.
Robert Sanchez, the Spanish keeper, high out towards Cucurella, the left back on the far side. 48 appearances across all competitions this season for Marc Cucurella. 7 goals, 4 assists, played 90 minutes in the Conference League final. This is 21st appearance in a row.
Well, for LAFC, 10 minutes in, you can see the starting point of their defensive phase of play is at the building block of the middle third. And whether that's self-confidence or a little bit being naive, at the end of the day, Steve Cherundolo and LAFC believe in their system. And they're going to adapt to what Chelsea are capable of doing, but they are going to play their way.
Long. From a new Red Bulls man across from Segura back to the goalkeeper. Here is Eddie Segura, the Colombian defender. Forward it goes from Lloris, who has 8 clean sheets in 22 appearances this season. Last year a club record 12 clean sheets, second in Major League Soccer behind Seattle, Stefan Frei. The ball played through down the left, but Denny Bouanga unable to get onto the end of it.
You can see the frustration of Mark Delgado, understanding that he just put a little bit too much weight over it. Ante Razov just off the left shoulder of Steve Cherundolo. Marc Dos Santos off the opposite. And as much as LAFC is familiar with Mercedes-Benz Stadium, unfamiliar with the surface being grass, used to it being an artificial surface.
Steve Cherundolo saying yesterday that it's really important his side is not just here for the experience. They need to maximize their potential. He said what that potential is, I'm not quite sure at this point. But they need to leave knowing that they've given it a good shot and shown their best side. Palmer's ball back into the midfield.
Yeah, to your point, Luke, easily the most difficult of the start in the group, with the next game in Nashville against Esperance, followed up by in Orlando against Flamengo.
Played up towards Ebobasi. Was he fouled there? Yes, he was. Tosin, 27-year-old English defender, coming in and giving away the free kick.
But that is the moment I'm talking about for Jeremy Ebobasi. His work rate on the defensive side to cut down angles and shape the way LAFC wants to see the game. But as important, his ability to hold the ball up in moments like that. Gives everybody a little bit of a breather and also opens the game up for the midfielders of LAFC.
Delgado pushing the ball forward, Ordaz chasing as the challenge comes in from Reece James. And now sent out far to the left side for Madueke to chase. Neto's on the edge of the box, Jackson there as well. Cole Palmer waiting to pounce. There's no way through here as Palencia will look to clear down that right touch line for LAFC. And the free kick given there against Jeremy Ebobasi, who is in his first year with LAFC after 3.5 years in San Jose. Played 74 minutes against America in that playing game. 3 goals this season for Ebobasi in 16 appearances. Maybe Some type of electronic malfunction for the referee today. He was a referee at the World Cup in 2022, at the Copa America last year. In fact, almost a year ago to the day, refereeing Argentina against Canada in the opening game of Copa America last June. It was his second Copa America. Took charge of the US draw against England in the group stage at the World Cup in Qatar, the 0-0 draw, and France's 3-1 win against Poland in the round of 16.
Oh, we just saw 32-52 representing at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Already LAFC, pillars in the community and the relationship that they have with their fans, and now the opportunity to create another legacy on the field against Chelsea.
Here's Reece James down the right side. He's got support from Neto. Chelsea winning the Club World Cup in 2022. Beating Palmeiras 2-1 in the final after extra time. Havertz winning it from the penalty spot. Here's Cole Palmer.
That's just such a massive challenge for Ryan Hollingshead dealing with this man, Pedro Neto.
Palmer, Chelsea's top scorer this season. Neto trying to get on the end of it. Here's the cross, comes in towards the back post. Madueke couldn't quite bring it down, and here come LAFC. So deadly on the counter, down the right side with Ordaz. Moises Caicedo dropping back to try and halt the run. Abobasi. Here's Delgado. Now Bouanga.
Reece James, when healthy, one of the best right backs in modern football. The intelligence, the physicality, and that ruthless mentality of winning his 1v1 battles. It'll obviously be a huge test for Denny Bouanga when he's isolated 1v1. That being said, LAFC has this minute advantage in that virtually every player on this field understands the ins and outs and nuances of what Chelsea's capable of doing. I'm not so sure that's the same for Chelsea when they're in isolated 1v1 moments against LAFC.
Madueke down the left side, bursting towards the byline, pulls it back just too far in front of Cole Palmer. LAFC turning over possession. Steve Cherundolo warned them that as you step up to a higher level, not only do you have less time and space and the game goes faster, but you get less chances at one end, and at the other, mistakes are punished much more readily.
Well, that's the second time, and no surprise whatsoever that we've seen Cole Palmer popping up in a really dangerous spot. He was uncontested, no one touched tight. And if that ball came through anywhere within a 3-yard radius of where he was at, LAFC defensively was in big trouble.
Caicedo wide to Madueke down the left side. Here's the Ecuadorian midfielder. Back for Tosin. Reece James wide to the right, came on in the Conference League final, but gets the start here today. Gets it back from Neto. James looking towards Madueke on the left side. Palencia going across to try and defend. LAFC were wanting the throw given in their direction, but it goes Chelsea's way. Cucurella will take it. The best goal-scoring season of his career. Scored the winner in a 1-0 victory against Manchester United back on May the 16th. Picked up by Romeo Lavia. Caicedo. Wide for James down the right side.
Well, they've looked secure, LAFC, in this start 16 minutes in. And a clear idea of what they're trying to do defensively. And there's almost an onus because of the expectation of what Chelsea is currently reestablishing themselves as a dominant force in football. Finishing fourth, qualifying for the Champions League, and within touching distance over the winter break of potentially being in a Premier League title race. Huge hiccups through the month of January, but have been in a fantastic run. 116 goals in all competitions, losing just 3 of their final 19 matches, and capping it off with a Conference League title and that 4-1 win against Real Betis. It's going to be a really interesting summer as Chelsea are obviously going to be open to the idea of spending significantly once again.
You talk about their form, Dunny. They've won 8 of their last 9 in all competitions. Down the left side it goes. Madueke getting in. Hugo Lloris makes the save. Cole Palmer is denied as Delgado gets the block in. And Caicedo battling here to maintain possession for Chelsea. But Ordaz tried to win it. And he gets the free kick.
Yeah, and Ordaz,
and he gets a few words in there as well with Caicedo.
Yeah, he might just be 21 years of age and the homegrown product and pride of LAFC. But he didn't like the fact that the challenge came while Caicedo was on the deck. Nice little kick save with that left foot. Madueke is going to be a constant threat and challenge for Sergi Palencia to continue to stay with him as his right back responsibility. But in the big moments, they need to rely on Hugo Lloris. He'll know in terms of the communication in front of him, as important as his ability to keep the ball out of the back of the net.
Hugo Lloris captained Spurs in the League Cup final in 2015. A 2-0 loss against Chelsea.
I'll tell you what, with this pause, Luke, I wonder if VAR Juan Soto is taking just a closer look to Caicedo and the challenge on Nathan Ordaz while he was on his butt, swinging his legs around the ball.
Well, Chelsea, the first Premier League side in action, and Pep Guardiola's Manchester City starting their campaign on Wednesday against Moroccan powerhouse Wydad. You can download the app on DAZN.com and watch live and free, only on DAZN at 11 a.m. Eastern Time for all of the build-up to that first Manchester City game.
Oh, what an opportunity right there. Jeremy Abobasi woefully under-hitting that switch as Sergi Palencia had made an overlapping run on that far side, was wide open.
You talked about the LAFC fans in attendance. We actually have seen at Mercedes-Benz Stadium some Club Leon jerseys as well. Some of their fans who maybe brought tickets when they thought they would be in this game before they were not allowed to enter the tournament due to multi-club ownership rules, which is why it went to the play-in game, and LAFC and Club America fought out for the final spot.
Oh, they called it that $10 million match that LAFC come from behind win. The dying moments, Igor Jesus in the 90th minute, and then Denny Bouanga with the game winner in the 119th. And the atmosphere inside BMO Stadium was extraordinary. From the fireworks outside of the hotel at Club America to the fireworks outside the stadium as Max Bretos and I were pulling in. The atmosphere was one of the best I've seen in an MLS stadium.
And credit to those Leon fans for making sure they use their tickets, even though their side isn't here today. They're getting to see a 0-0 draw so far through almost 20 minutes. But Chelsea pushing forward, couldn't find Madueke down the far side. Picked up here by Caicedo, and this is Cole Palmer. Palmer goes for the top corner. Doesn't trouble Lloris, but it took a touch, and it's out for a corner.
Oh, he's so elegant with his movement, and that left foot is exquisite. Takes it with the outside of his left. He shapes, and that final step from Eddie Segura creates a slight deflection and up and over the crossbar.
Neto going across to take it. Cole Palmer assisting on the opening 2 goals in the Conference League final. Going close, 20 minutes in here in Atlanta. Ordaz getting the block in. It goes out off Nathan Ordaz, the 21-year-old US-born El Salvador international. Palmer pushing it forward for Cucurella. And it's out off Jesus, the Brazilian defensive midfielder, for another Chelsea corner, their second of the game.
Oh, it's so dangerous with their ability of keeping possession and breaking through the lines with passing, but as important has been their movement off the ball.
Palmer. This is Reece James. He's got time and space to shoot, and it takes a deflection on the way through. Cucurella will chase. And he can't keep it in play under pressure there from Igor Jesus, the Brazilian who is in his first year with LAFC, making the move from the Portuguese top flight. Only missed 1 match this season, suspended after being sent off at San Diego back at the end of March.
On that short corner, creating a little bit of concern for LAFC defensively. They collapsed and tried to get down inside their own penalty area as quickly as possible. And that ability from Reece James, an absolute cannon on that right foot. Not only the variation of service and the diagonal of switch, but if he ever pops up uncontested outside the penalty area, if he sees the light of day, he is willing to take the chance.
Madueke can't get past Palencia. Reece James with 2 goals during the season. The last one coming in the 2-1 win at Copenhagen in the Conference League round of 16 back in early March. There was no way through with that shot from outside the area on that occasion. And just about at the midway mark in the first half. 0-0 so far. Chelsea, as you would expect, much more dominant as an attacking force. But LAFC here with an opportunity with Ordaz down the right side, up over halfway. Ebobisse in the middle, Boanga on the left side. Tillman joining the attack as well. But no way through.
You can see where the surface is left Nason Ordaz wanting. The idea in the build-up, dominant left foot, cuts inside, looks for the combination. He's trying to find the feed of Jeremy Ebobisse for maybe a little flick on and a combination play. Instead, Ebobisse's looking for a ball that's never going to get to him unless it's from the end line.
Played in by Hollingshead. Now Boanga, foot in from Caicedo. And he's given away the free kick. You can tell by the look up at the referee that it's a disapproving view of the situation from Moises Caicedo.
Well, similar to what we saw yesterday in the foul from Koke that took away Julian Alvarez's goal at the Rose Bowl. A similar challenge goes unpunished, and the transition opportunity in favor of LAFC as we take a look from the referee's view. Certainly a foul, but Moises Caicedo is asking at the opposite end why that challenge wasn't judged to be a foul as well.
Moises Caicedo, the only Chelsea player to start all 38 Premier League games this season. Scored in the Conference League final. Denny Boanga has the ball placed for this LAFC free kick. Boanga just chipping this one in. Long couldn't get there. Sanchez will, and danger here as Sanchez bowls it out towards halfway, but too far in front of Nicholas Jackson and Madueke. Sanchez coming a long way out of goal. Not the most conventional route to clearing the ball, but he got the job done.
Yeah, most importantly, he was aggressive coming up his line, proactive, protecting what the defensive line was for Chelsea at the top of their own penalty area.
Lavia inside towards Colwill. Pedro Neto, 25-year-old Portuguese attacker. Back inside for Lavia. Arrived from Southampton back in August of 2023 for almost $80 million US. Lavia into the starting lineup today. Pushed forward there down the left side towards Cucurella from Colwill. Madueke. Cucurella continuing to chase as Tim Tillman gets back there and is able to keep it in play and find Sir Guy Palencia. Palencia up towards halfway. Ebobisse came deep to try and get there, but Chelsea now picking up possession. We just saw Tim Tillman there doing some defensive work. His brother last night, one of the stars of the show for the US in their opening Gold Cup game. Malik Tillman with a couple of goals and getting high praise from Mauricio Pochettino following the game for his performance.
And Tim Tillman under pressure never seems to be flustered with the amount of players closing him down internationally or domestically in Major League Soccer.
Out to the right here for Neto. Up against Hollingshead, the veteran from California. Lavia. Tosin across the back towards Colwill. The high ball forward, headed away at the back by Palencia. Drops down for Jesus. Down the right side, Ordaz. Ebobisse trying to hold it up, and he forces the free kick there as the challenge was strong from Tosin.
Well, and it's good enough because right now LAFC is suffering because of the simplicity of possession for Chelsea, but they have to earn the right to play. And by doing so means that it's necessary at times for Jeremy Abobasi to sacrifice himself, understanding whether it's Levi Colwell or it's Tosin, there's going to be a certain amount of physicality coming up the backside.
This one being played under the closed roof of Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. LAFC in the middle of their season, 9 points behind the Western Conference leaders, Vancouver Whitecaps.
Well, in that last phase of play in the build-up, you can see Marc Cucurella rotating centrally, effectively playing 3 in the back. And because of the inability of LAFC to maintain and sustain simple possession, you're going to see more and more confidence from Chelsea to push numbers into that midfield, flood, overload, and make life difficult for the midfield 3 of Delgado, Jesus, and Tim Tillman.
This is a Chelsea side in confident mood.
There he goes again, Cucurella.
They've only failed to score once in the last 11 matches. 8 wins in the final 12 Premier League games, 7 of which came with clean sheets. 3 shutouts in the final 5 games of the Premier League season. LAFC, as yet, not really testing Robert Sanchez in goal, but their back line has not been breached. Here's Cucurella pushing it forward here for Cole Palmer. Palmer to Neto on the right side. Neto chips the ball into the middle. Cucurella couldn't get on the end of it. Jackson was close by as well, as Neto skips that challenge and just keeps the ball in play right in front of the LAFC bench. And Neto down the right shrugs off the challenge of Denny Bouanga, up against Hollingshead, in towards Madueke at the back post, and out for a goal kick it goes in the 29th minute in Atlanta. Enzo Maresca, the head coach of Chelsea, in his first year as a top-flight manager after managing in the 2nd tier in England with Leicester City and Italy with Parma. Won the championship title with Leicester, getting 97 points in the season before leaving for Chelsea. The 7th Italian to manage Chelsea. Some huge names of the past, of course, like Gianluca Vialli, Claudio Ranieri, Carlo Ancelotti, Di Matteo, Conte, Sarri. Now Enzo Maresca, who for a long time was working with Pep Guardiola. He was at Manchester City when new signing Liam Delap was in the academy there, so they know each other. Delap, of course, recently signing from Ipswich, the first edition of the summer for Chelsea in time for this tournament. He's on the bench today. Cole Palmer turns as the LAFC back line backpedals. Madueke trying to get some space to get a shot away as Long does the defending. Here's Caicedo. Palmer. LAFC doing well to force Chelsea all the way back towards halfway. Lavia looking for that ball through to Madueke. It was good positive play there from Lavia in the midfield to get it up towards halfway. He'll get another opportunity here to try and pull the strings as he gets it back from Caicedo.
Yeah, great possession right now for Chelsea. They're just looking for a little bit of daylight, a little bit of an opening that they can pull apart this back line. The emphasis right now for Enzo Maresca's men is to try to take away LAFC's ability to stay compact, stay narrow, and get them out of this Christmas tree effect that's happening. And a lot of that has to do with movement off the ball, but it also has to do with probing and playing the ball in, back out, finding those triangle passes to see if you can get LAFC to commit to step forward an extra 4 or 5 yards.
This a prime time showdown for Chelsea fans based at home in London. Kickoff in London just after 8 p.m, 3 p.m. Eastern time here in Atlanta when this one got underway on day 3 of the Club World Cup. 66% possession for Chelsea, 6 shots of which 2 have been on target. Still waiting for the first LAFC shot in the game so far.
Well, Nathan Ordaz and Marc Cucurella going at it. Nathan Ordaz will be experienced enough because of Sergio Palencia having that antagonistic presence behind him as LAFC's right back to understand that what it looked on the training ground is what he's going to experience with a similar personality with the 26-year-old Spanish left back.
Apart from winning the Club World Cup in 2022, Chelsea lost in the final against Corinthians 1-0 in 2012. They'd beaten CONCACAF opposition. 3-1 win in the semi-final against Monterrey. 13 years on, facing another CONCACAF side here. Madueke dancing his way through. Comes back for Lavia. Look at all the numbers back for LAFC once again. And the foot comes in there from Igor Jesus.
That's one of the things you and I were talking Friday night as Al-Ahly and Inter Miami kicked off the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. Is this grandiose tournament has a different format, and with the group stage creates different opportunity and as well different challenges. And moving from a December FIFA Club World Cup to now a June-July FIFA Club World Cup, it looks different and it feels different, but also the opportunity for teams finishing their season versus teams in the prime time of their domestic campaigns.
Abobasi. Ordaz back towards Palencia. A rare foray forward into the Chelsea half for LAFC as Hollingshead has it down the left side. Neat play here from LAFC, but in the end turning it over. Jackson spins away and rolls it through for Neto. What a wonderful opportunity here for Chelsea. It's Neto, steps back inside. Neto with a goal. Beautifully done to give Chelsea the lead. Pedro Neto with a goal. Enzo Maresca's side in front in Atlanta in their Club World Cup opener.
Well, after fighting in the back of the net, Pedro Neto blowing kisses to Nicholas Jackson. And it's because of his ability to get away the two center backs. Jackson, a perfectly weighted ball to Pedro Neto, puts on the brakes, cut back, sends Ryan Hollingshead to the turf. The weight of the pass, exquisite. The timing of the run, even better. But that chop back and then the near post finish, fantastic from the 25-year-old. And Pedro Neto, just 6 goals in 45 appearances, opens up the scoreline in the 34th minute and giving Chelsea the 1-0 lead here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
It's only his second goal since February. He scored in a 2-1 win at Fulham back on April the 20th. That was a dramatic 93rd minute winner. And the man who signed on a 7-year deal from Wolves last August has Chelsea in front at the Club World Cup. A little over 12 minutes to go until half-time. He kept his cool. He stepped inside the defender. He found the finish low into the bottom corner past Lloris. And LAFC have found their backline breached. Bouanga chasing forward down the left. Has he won the free kick? The challenge from Reece James. And a yellow card shown to Reece James, the England international.
Well, the physicality to come across Denny Bouanga, and the moment that the foul is called, it's an easier decision for Jesus Valenzuela to show the first yellow card of the match. The intent to go physically, shoulder to shoulder, just a split second mistimed. And now an important and dangerous opportunity from a very acute angle for LAFC to try to take advantage of.
Denny Bouanga standing over the free kick here for LAFC. Seems as if it might be a head injury here, but the referee wants to be checked for Nathan Ordaz.
Well, there's been a couple of different comings together between Nathan Ordaz and Cucurella, as well as Moises Caicedo. And head injuries themselves can You can see right now there's an indication, and I wonder if that previous collision off the ball is something that now led to recognition from our referee Jesus Valenzuela that Nathan Ordaz wasn't in the right state. Immediately blowing the whistle, you can see the indication of the concern by tapping into his head. And based on that body language and what we're seeing right now, the major concern is that Nathan Ordaz cannot continue. Here's the combination play that leads to Nicholas Jackson. Perfectly timed run, and this is how close it was. As this ball was played through, is it Eddie Segura that keeps him in an onside position? As he's in a recovery mode, Pedro Neto perfectly timed, but it's this Cruyff right here. Ryan Hollingshead knows that if he pulls the trigger with the right foot, he's in trouble. He goes to ground. And once Pedro Neto has enough time and enough space, he's got Hugo Lloris at his mercy.
Denny Bouanga standing over the free kick here at the byline. It's swung in towards the back post. Sanchez got a touch to it. And out for a corner, a first of the game for LAFC.
Yeah, a little hybrid of an Olympico opportunity. Denny Bouanga, there's the acute angle, and you can see him trying to get it up and down. Maybe the run of Jeremy Abobasi. But risk versus reward is David Martinez, the 19-year-old Venezuelan international. He scored 7 goals this season, 6 of which coming on the road, making an impact. Didn't have the best appearance off the bench against Club America. And a perfect opportunity to redeem himself.
Short to Delgado on the edge of the box, and then Bouanga will drive this one in towards the front post. Out on the far side for a throw for LAFC here, with 7 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. And the referee is just asking for play to be held for a moment.
Well, there's also a concern, not just with losing Nathan Ordaz, but the fact that Under is no longer a part of LAFC, and Dilrosun has not received his visa to join the team. So 2 more attacking players on top of David Martinez not available for the entirety of the game for Steve Cherundolo and his coaching staff to turn to off the bench. The challenge from Lavia, frustration as he's trying to take the ball off of Tim Tillman.
So Martinez coming in to replace Ordaz. And Hollingshead with the quick throw here, and Bouanga trying to get it around the back, and just runs into Reece James there. James is fouled. Reece James playing 90 minutes for England last week in the 1-0 win in Andorra.
Oh, it's great to see him back and healthy. Again, I think he's a top 3 in terms of what he brings to the table when he's on the field in his position around the world. And Denny Bouanga doing everything right, and the intelligence of Reece James to draw him into the foul.
Lavia forward over halfway, wide to the right for the goal scorer Neto. He's up against Hollingshead down the Chelsea right side. Palmer, who had one really good chance in the first half from distance that was deflected behind on the way through for a corner. Tillman turning but loses out to Caicedo. Lavia through for Palmer. Cole Palmer.
Well, as Chelsea goes for the second and tries to get the jugular of LAFC, LAFC cannot afford to head into the halftime break by giving up this second goal, similar to what we saw in Seattle last night.
Seattle came back strong in the second half at home against Botafogo, but lost by 2-1 against the Brazilian side. This ball played wide to the right. Martinez will chase against Cucurella. LAFC have the numbers coming forward here. And it's played in towards Bouanga at the back post. He cushions the header down, and Abobasi just slips on the turf, but look at all the blue jerseys back. And then the free kick given away by Martinez.
Well, it's been interesting seeing the conversations about the surface and the concern about it being a little bit more dry than what teams from around the world are used to. It's a precursor and a preview to what we're going to see next summer. But that's the second occasion in which we've seen a really important moment where an LAFC player has lost their footing.
Jake Paul returns to the boxing ring to take on former WBC middleweight champion Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. It's live on Saturday, June 28th, exclusively on DAZN, and you can buy that right now. A little over 3 minutes plus stoppage time until the half-time whistle. Pedro Neto's goal in the 34th minute. 1-0 the scoreline in favour of Chelsea. And this one sent all the way through and out for a goal kick. The only match Hugo Lloris didn't play this season was a 5-2 loss in Seattle back on March the 8th. He arrived at LAFC back in January of last year from Tottenham. France's most capped player. 20 World Cup appearances across 4 tournaments. A winner in 2018, a runner-up 4 years later in Qatar.
But you can see the apologetic nature of Eddie Segura, understanding that he probably would have been better served to lump that ball up the line with his left foot as opposed to trying to chop back and keep possession underneath the pressure of that man, Nicholas Jackson. The focus for Jackson will always be about finding the back of the net as the true 9 for Chelsea, especially with the arrival of Liam Delap. But one thing that goes unnoticed, or probably not talked about enough, is his energetic work rate off the ball to try to close down space and cause havoc for any team's build out of the back.
That's gone out for a throw here, which Hollingshead will take deep in his own half, right by the corner flag. A 3-1 win against Kansas City last week was Hollingshead's 300th MLS regular season appearances. He's had 150 appearances for LAFC. Gyokeres. Tosin at the back, out wide to Colwill. Hollingshead heads away. Delgado hooks it over halfway. Abobasi trying to get on the end of it, under pressure there from Tosin, who got ahead to that one as Caicedo picks it up. Finds the ball back to Colwill.
Yeah, the 2 center backs have done a very good job with Jeremy Abobasi challenging for the first ball and allowing the back press of both Lavia and Caicedo to pick up that second ball.
Lavia. Palmer down the right side. Here goes Cole Palmer. Support from Neto to the right. And he uses the goal scorer. Neto against Hollingshead. This is Palmer. Cole Palmer from distance off the foot of Segura. Then cleared away by Long towards halfway. But one back there by Colwill at the back. This is Gyokeres. Madueke. Cross goes Sergi Palencia. Final few seconds before we find out how much stoppage time will be added on.
No real emphasis for LAFC to apply the pressure, trying to keep their shape, trying to make sure they don't give up that second goal before the halftime whistle.
Well, one by Delgado there, and is that a foul? It is, right at the end of the half here. Tosin coming in with a challenge and a yellow card coming. The second for a Chelsea defender on the afternoon as Tosin follows Reece James into the book of referee Jesus Valenzuela.
Oh, he's been very, very aggressive in the turnover of Lavia. He goes through, takes out the back of the right leg of Jeremy Abobasi. Great awareness in the spin under pressure to take it away from the body, separate him from the big center back, and absorb that foul. And the rash challenge earned with the yellow card in the 45th minute. And if there was a player on LAFC willing to try his luck from this distance, it'll be this man, Denny Bouanga. But he also has the option, even though he looks like he's going to walk away, of the left foot of David Martinez.
Midway through the 2 minutes being added on at the end of the half. Denny Bouanga will chip this one in. It dropped down towards Abobasi, goes off James, and a corner here for LAFC, but did the flag go up for offside on the far side? So LAFC denied an opportunity to get that ball into the box.
Yeah, really high line from Chelsea. The conversations, the focus, the intensity, but also the athleticism to make sure that if they need to defend and get back, you can see the frustration of Steve Cherundolo. We've seen the variation of what Chelsea's been capable of doing with the ball and the slow, methodical build-up, trying to move LAFC around. But in their most dangerous moments, it's been transition, finding the feet of Nicholas Jackson, and then seeing the movement off the shoulder from either Cole Palmer, Pedro Neto, or Nani Madueke.
Nicholas Jackson out towards Madueke on the far side. Closed down by Palencia. Madueke trying to find a way through, floats the cross back post for Neto, who will chase towards the near touchline under pressure from Hollingshead. Boango was back there trying to defend as well. And Neto continues the chase as the whistle goes. right-back role.
The two players that started the Conference League final against Real Betis.
Marc Gusto, the 22-year-old French right-back, made 41 appearances this season, 19 starts in the Premier League. As we see Olivier Giroud, who will be hoping to be able to make an impact in this game. Giroud arriving in LA from AC Milan back in July of 2024. And Reece James, who was on a booking, having been given the start today, replaced by Gusto after 45 minutes.
Well, and it's one thing, Luke, that we'll have to keep an eye on as this tournament continues, and the progression for these teams coming off somewhere between 50 and 60 games played in multiple competitions is the man management and the physical load of these players at this stage of the season. Rightly pointing out that while Reece James is sitting on that yellow, also thinking about his availability and his health over the course of the season was always a concern for Enzo Maresca and his coaching staff. Looks as if Olivier Giroud is just waiting for his jersey to be able to be popped on and be an impact sub in the second half. If he does anything close to the performance that he had against Club America, it will quickly fly up the ranks of one of his most important performances for LAFC. It hasn't gone as we all expected, coming off the move from AC Milan. And there's been glimpses specific to a US Open Cup final, as well as a match a few months ago against the back three of Bruce Arena and the San Jose Earthquakes. But he was superb in the second half and into extra time against Club America 2 weeks ago.
Olivier Giroud scoring a goal in a 3-1 win against Kansas City last week. Had 39 goals in 119 appearances during his time with Chelsea. Chelsea not happy that this start to the half is being held up.
Ante Razov having a conversation with the coaching staff as well as the fourth officials. And usually the ability to come right down the tunnel out of the locker room and having his jersey on the bench. Right now you can see Chelsea FC certainly front. David Ochoa is the player that's been tasked with making sure that he gets Giroud's jersey to him as quickly as possible.
So Olivier Giroud will get the chance to come on for the second 45 minutes. A delayed arrival for the 38-year-old Frenchman. 57 goals in 137 caps. He retired after the Euros last year. A straight swap up top with Jeremy Ebobisse making way. And we are finally underway at the start of the second half at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Double change for Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez on the ball right now, one of the two players coming in. The other one, Malo Gusto at right back for Reece James. And just that change at the top of the pitch with all the experience and veteran knowledge of Olivier Giroud coming in to try and help LAFC get back into the game as Gyokeres ball forward finds Nicholas Jackson. It's off to the right side for Cole Palmer and down to the goal scorer Neto. Palmer, who was trying to get on the end of that ball through from Caicedo.
Hey, Luke, and I just wonder if Steve Cherundolo and his coaching staff were thinking about using the window of the halftime break as the substitution. So they still had two more windows in the second half after being forced to burn their first sub with the suspected concussion of Nathan Ordaz in the 39th minute.
Hugo Lloris beaten here in the 34th minute of the game when Pedro Neto scored. Tillman trying to get back there. Jesus as well, but it's picked up now by Palmer. Pushed forward there by the substitute Gusto at right back.
And we just got a glimpse of what the 11 on the field to start the second half looks like for Enzo Maresca. 9 of the 11 on the field were starters in the Conference League final 2.5 weeks ago against Real Betis.
Yes, both Enzo Fernandez and Malo Gusto were dropped to the bench today for this one. 4 changes in total made by Enzo Maresca from that starting 11 that won against Betis almost 3 weeks ago, whereas Steve Cherundolo had named the same starting 11 that got by Club America in extra time to book their place in this tournament. But just that one half-time change after the concussion substitution with Ordaz going off, Abobasi now replaced by Olivier Giroud.
And based on the substitution patterns that we've seen from LAFC and Steve Cherundolo, Frankie Amaya, Yaya Boa, 2 more players, even Ryan Raposo, could be players available off the bench in this second half.
Martinez with the ball backwards here for Palencia. Under pressure there from Madueke as it's cleared by Long, former Supporters' Shield winner with New York Red Bulls. Inside it goes there from Tillman, but he couldn't find Olivier Giroud. Giroud joining Chelsea from Arsenal for around $20 million US back in January of 2018. Won the FA Cup there in 2018, the Europa League in 18-19, Champions League in 2021, where he was an unused substitute in the final against Manchester City. All the experience of a man who's played at 3 World Cups and 4 Euros. In the latter stages of his career, 3 goals and 15 appearances this season for Giroud for LAFC.
And pride and ego are 2 fascinating data points when it comes to a player like Olivier Giroud when facing his former club in a moment like this.
Giroud trying to get on the end of this. Martinez is able to get a touch to it, but Gyokeres will bring it away down the left here for Chelsea. Played forward by Enzo Martinez towards Noni Madueke. Madueke up against Long. Turns inside the box toward Nicholas Jackson. Back for Madueke here. Long still snapping at his heels, is able to win it back, and they'll come through the midfield here with Mark Delgado. In his first year with LAFC after crossing Los Angeles, having won a championship with the Galaxy last year. Here's Neto gliding through down the right side against Hollingshead, pulls it back towards Jackson, and out of play it goes. A goal kick is the decision. Enzo Maresca, as a player, won the UEFA Cup twice with Sevilla, Serie A with Juventus. 45-year-old Italian heading into his 2nd season in charge with Chelsea.
Well, in almost 3 weeks since that 4-1 win against Real Betis in the Conference League final, some players having a 10-day break, others international duty. Going to be very intriguing to see if maybe some of the young players, specific to Liam Delap, will have an opportunity to make their debuts for Chelsea in this second 45 minutes.
Maresca saying that after this tournament he'll give his players at least 3 weeks off. This is Tillman. Now Martinez. Martinez strikes it in. It took a deflection off Giroud and goes behind.
Well, in a similar manner that we saw Cole Palmer in the first half, shape with that left, manipulate the ball with the outside of his left foot, and try to pick out that far post side net. This time it was a run directly in front of him that takes away the ability to test the goal of Robert Sanchez.
Down the right it comes, Martinez trying to get in around the back of Gyokeres. Well done by David Martinez, but he couldn't find the finish. The early work was there, and then a big disappointment at the end of it.
What's these moments and glimpses that we've seen from David Martinez, 19 years of age, and the 7 goals he scored this season, 6 have been on the road for LAFC. And in that moment, if the cutback's not on at a bare minimum, he's got to force Robert Sanchez to make a save at that near post. They're not going to get too many opportunities, Luke. They've got to capitalize on these chances.
He missed the league win against Sporting Kansas City last week due to international duty. Venezuelan winger, just 19 years old. A couple of caps for Venezuela. He was subbed off just before the hour mark in a loss against Uruguay on the road, 2-0 defeat on June the 11th. That was his first cap since June of 2023. But David Martinez getting in down that right side there, and then it's about decision-making. And with the few chances you get, it's about the quality. Down the right side, the cross in. Enzo Martinez couldn't get there, comes out for Cucurella. Down the left now with Madueke, swings that one into the middle, and it's cleared away by Segura. Colwell was able to keep it in play.
So smart, so intelligent from the English international. Loves that left foot, keeps the ball in play, and understands with the first shimmy and the shoulder drop, Sergi Palencia is going to drop back thinking he's going to be cut across the grain. And as Palencia closes down space, no options, kicks it off him, and earns the third corner of this match in favor of Chelsea.
Neto coming across to take it. He scored the only goal of the game in the 34th minute. Chelsea in front in game one of their third Club World Cup appearance. This, of course, expanded and unlike any other so far. This is Neto stepping inside. Neto's cross flicked in towards the 6-yard box, and it stayed out.
Sergi Palencia frustrated at the referee. Jesus Valencia feeling as though Nicholas Jackson has pushed off Neto inside, outside, less preferred right foot. And as he hooks this ball into space, the header won from Nicholas Jackson coming off Tim Tillman. And the redirect just enough to get past the outside of that right post.
So close to being a Tillman own goal and doubling Chelsea's advantage. Palmer. Neto making that run down the left. Palmer holding. Bouanga doing the defending back there. Palmer. Palmer with a wonderful cross in towards the back post. Colwell just couldn't quite get there.
I don't know if you caught that, but Nicholas Jackson posted up right between the 6-yard box and the penalty area. Obviously in an offside position, but it forces Aaron Long to constantly be communicating with Hugo Lloris about his positioning before the ball is even served. And even in that moment, sitting in that offside, he doesn't make a movement, but there's second runs at the back post that become threatening.
Martinez coming forward here, but that one will run through towards Robert Sanchez. 10 clean sheets in 32 Premier League appearances. 55 appearances for Chelsea since joining from Brighton back in August of 2023 on a 7-year deal. (1-0) at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. DAZN, the home of big-time boxing. Don't miss 2 Division World Champion Shakur Stevenson defending his WBC lightweight title against the unbeaten William Zepeda from New York City on July 12th, live on DAZN. That is the night before the Club World Cup final takes place at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. And Chelsea will think they've got a realistic opportunity of being in that final and finishing a year of transition with more success, having qualified for the Champions League, having won the Europa Conference League. This would be a huge statement to the global game if Chelsea can make it all the way through to the final of the tournament. Down the right side comes Gusto, played it through, couldn't find Jackson or Madueke. A long ball downfield here. And it's an opportunity for Bouanga. Danny Bouanga has not had many looks this afternoon, but he makes Robert Sanchez work.
Well, 9 goals, 3 assists in his last 10 matches. Gets inside Neto. Gusto get caught forward. He's got the goalkeeper at his mercy. and it's a kick save at the near post, and an important one from Robert Sanchez.
Boanga, the 2023 MLS Golden Boot winner, had 20 goals that season. He's been the MLS Best 11 team last 2 years. Coming in good form. Penalty and 2 assists last week against Kansas City. Good play down the right side as the cross comes in there from Cole Palmer. And Boanga is able to hold off the challenge there of Gusto, the half-time substitute. Flies it out to the right side where Colwell will get there ahead of Martinez, who came on for the injured Ordaz in the first half.
Important moments right there from David Martinez after missing that opportunity at the near post. After he shaped up and sent Cucurella in the opposite direction. If you went back and watched that game against Club America, he came off the bench and never really got going, both with the ball and maybe more importantly, without the ball. From a confidence perspective, one of the toughest showings that we had seen in an LAFC uniform. But today, even in moments, well, has he been caught right here and coming together? And Cucurella, whatever transpired just to the right on our screen, David Martinez has been shown yellow. Well, these two players have been going at it. Cucurella started with Nathan Ordaz. He initiates the contact, antagonistic in the moment, but it's the reaction of Martinez that's getting caught from the near side, AR, and the first player to go in the book for LAFC.
Cucurella, the most expensive fullback in Premier League history, now up to 17 caps for Spain after starting both games in the Nations League.
Whether you love it or hate it, Cucurella does an incredible job of manipulating moments in the game that somehow continuously benefits his side.
So it remains 1-0. It has been that scoreline since a little over 10 minutes before half-time in Atlanta. Colwell. Across it goes towards Gusto on the far side. Boanga applying the pressure. All the way back towards Sanchez.
On the final 30 minutes of this match, the emphasis is on Steve Cherundolo and his coaching staff to give the freedom of LAFC the opportunity to get back in this game. But at what cost? As they have to push forward with numbers and take risks. The risks versus rewards. There's not going to be much between those two words.
Boanga. Across the back here for Aaron Long, the 32-year-old defender from Oak Hills, California. Valencia. Now Martinez. Giroud cushioning it back. Jesus with the ball through. Giroud once again got a little flick, but picked up by Caicedo. And here's Enzo Fernandez up towards halfway. Fernandez playing the full 90 minutes in 28 of his 32 Premier League starts this season. 46 appearances in all competitions. A goal and an assist in the Conference League final.
But it's Moises Caicedo, Luke, that makes it look so effortless. It feels like he's covering every blade of grass in that defensive midfield position for Chelsea.
Played back by Madueke. Wide to the right side for Cole Palmer on halfway. Palmer against Delgado. And now Hollingshead. Cole Palmer for Nicholas Jackson. Palmer continues the run here. Palmer twisting and turning and pokes it wide. There will be a debut for new signing Liam Delap very shortly.
Oh, he's just so exciting, the 23-year-old attacking midfielder. Inside, outside, you know he wants the left. Still capable of finding the ability with the manipulation of the ball at speed. It's a good recovery challenge from Ryan Hollingshead.
Enzo Fernandez, the best young player at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, set to take corner number 5 here in Atlanta for Chelsea. In towards the front post, Tossen got ahead to it, comes all the way back for Gusto. Gusto chips that back in, and Lloris on the line is able to claim. Liam Delap joining from Ipswich Town for just over $40 million on June the 4th. He was the Ipswich Player of the Year. He was the Young Player of the Year as well. Their top scorer with 12 goals in all competitions.
Well, he comes through, he commits the foul, he doesn't feel as though he has. And right now it's about the temperament and control for David Martinez.
Here's Palmer down the right side. Hollingshead with the defending. Cleared away there by Segura.
Well, Ryan Hollingshead needs help. You can see he's put his hands out. He's doubled up between Pedro Neto, and Cole Palmer continues to flare onto that right-hand side.
So here comes Chelsea's newest addition. Liam Delap getting set to make his debut following his move from Ipswich.
Explore hand-picked hotels through the edit and unlock upgraded stays with Chase Sapphire Reserve. Make more of what's yours.
Delap and George, the two players coming on to replace Jackson and Madueke. A big ovation for Liam Delap, who played in the youth system at Manchester City while his new head coach Enzo Maresca was there. He's missing the under-21 European Championships to be with Chelsea here at the Club World Cup.
Well, highly rated, highly coveted, and not many clubs around the world weren't interested in the idea of getting Liam Delap after his performances and the consistency of his goal-scoring ability this season with Ipswich Town.
The flag is up for offside. Tyreek George, the other player coming in, a 19-year-old London-born midfielder.
It took a lot in that first 45 minutes to draw the attention of the referee, Jesus Venezuela. This second half, it's been quite the opposite. A lot looser with the whistle.
Giroud out wide to the right side. You see the dominance there with almost double the number of passes completed for Chelsea than LAFC. Here's David Martinez. Delgado helping it on towards Boanga. Boanga has Giroud in the middle, and it's blocked there by Gusto. Neto from deep trying to get away down the right side. Boanga gets back, halts the run. Delgado scampers across as well.
So the longer that this stays just 1-0 in favor of Chelsea, it'll continue to give LAFC hope. There is emphasis to get that second goal, but
cross in from Martinez, takes a touch through towards Delgado. Jesus couldn't get there. Hollingshead will. Inside for Tillman. Not the best ball in as he was searching for Olivier Giroud. Chelsea suddenly looking a little disjointed at the back. But here they come in the opposite direction with Cole Palmer, looking to add to their one-goal advantage. Neto to the right, Delap in the middle. Palmer's ball across for Fernandez just outside the box. Here's Tyreek George. Now Enzo Fernandez. The good block coming in from Delgado. Headed away by Long, he got good distance on it. Giroud battling, Boanga battling, the referee allowing play to continue, and Martinez picks it up. And then the referee gives this the way of Chelsea.
Well, David Martinez continues to have words with Marc Cucurella, as Cucurella continues to try to agitate and see what else he can draw out of LAFC in terms of temperament. But thinking about Frankie Amaya, Yaya Boa, who else can come off this bench and create impactful moments for LAFC? And importantly, not who to bring in, but who to bring off. That gives Steve Cherundolo the advantage he's looking for.
Turned over here, and Denny Bouanga is away. He's got Giroud making the run through the middle, and Tosin just sticks out a leg to ensure that didn't get through to the former French international. Fernandez with a little back heel on the near side. LAFC just gaining a little bit of momentum here as Bouanga tries to turn against George. Of course, Delap hitting the headlines as he makes his debut, but Tyreek George also coming in, the teenager who's an unused substitute for the Conference League final win against Real Betis. Made his full Premier League debut in the 1-0 home win against Manchester United on May the 16th. Pushed down the right side for Palencia. Up against Cucurella. Palencia's ball into the edge of the box. It's Denny Bouanga. Tried to skip the challenge of Caicedo. Here is Tyreek George.
He's been tight with the
wriggle out of
whistle.
that situation, hadn't he? But he gets the free kick.
Yeah, Valenzuela's been tight with the whistle.
Played forward towards Liam Delap. Delap up against Segura, and Liam Delap plays it backwards, looking for the run of Fernandez. It's out for a corner for Chelsea on the far side.
But what a moment that would have been for Liam Delap. Fresh off the bench, it's his debut for Chelsea. Perfectly timed run. He gets inside, outside, off the shoulder of Segura. The weighted pass from Cole Palmer, the hitch in his step. He leaves Segura from behind. And if not for a timely read from Aaron Long, this is 2-0 Chelsea.
Long, the 2018 MLS Defender of the Year, with a vital intervention. Chelsea go short. Moises Caicedo. Towards the edge of the box, it's played through here for Palmer.
And very rarely does Chelsea just swing a ball into the box, despite the size of Levi and Tosin. It's 5-block. They play short, and it's the movement off the ball that draws LAFC off their line, somewhere around the penalty spot. And then that second run. And uncharacteristically, you see the idea of Cole Palmer, but gets underneath it and up and over the crossbar. Chelsea, 2 brilliant opportunities to make this 2-0.
Cole Palmer's only goal in his last 23 appearances, a penalty in a win against Liverpool back on May the 4th. But only the second player to register 20 or more goal contributions in successive Premier League seasons for Chelsea. The other was Eden Hazard. Finished with 15 goals, 9 assists in 46 across all competitions.
Well, Steve Cherundolo talked this week and referenced 2 weeks ago, Club America's budget was 4 times larger than LAFC. 8 years established. Imagine when you compare and contrast that with Chelsea Football Club.
Caicedo through towards Delap. Good foot in there from Palencia. Picked up by Caicedo. The flag is up for offside.
Well, there's a fine line in this conversation for LAFC, starting with Chelsea. The immediacy of understanding what it means to play at this level. And generally aware, but now physically aware of what it takes in terms of speed of thought, speed of play.
Delap couldn't get there ahead of Martinez, who recovered well. But LAFC are inside the final 20 minutes against a giant of the English Premier League, and they are only 1 goal down. Hollingshead coming forward from fullback. Might have a crack at goal. Will have a crack at goal. And Hollingshead wasn't too far away from tying things up for LAFC.
over 200 regular season matches, 30 goals as an attacking outside back at this stage of his career. No immediate pressure. Adventurous run, preferred right foot, and up and over the crossbar. And enough concern for Robert Sanchez to his right-hand side.
That would have been some strike and some moment for LAFC if their game-tying goal had come from their left fullback, but now they're back on the defence. Tyreek George down the left side. He's running at the fullback, Palencia. Tillman towards halfway. Giroud coming across to the near touchline, right in front of the Chelsea bench. Gets the ball inside towards Martinez.
Yeah, he should have hit it first time. He had Delgado, chose not to hit it with the outside of his left.
Here's Cole Palmer. Gets it back from Neto, the goal scorer. And the referee will halt play because of an injury here. It's Moises Caicedo that is down.
It was a great read from Moises Caicedo. And the hold-up play was important from Olivier Giroud. And as the ball came across, David Martinez thought about playing the big switch. Caicedo closes him down. And there was a collision of 3 players as we take a look at the referee view of Marc Cucurella, Moises Caicedo, and David Martinez.
Caicedo playing 90 minutes in both of Ecuador's June World Cup qualifiers. 0-0 draws against Brazil and Peru. Play restarted on the Chelsea right there with Palmer and Neto. Back for Gusto, the half-time substitute replacing Reece James. Very high line from Chelsea with Tosun and Colwill inside the LAFC half.
Oh, they've looked comfortable. And in the Conference League final, Trevor Chalobah, who spent the first half of the season on loan at Crystal Palace before unceremoniously being recalled and thrust into a really important position for Enzo Maresca. Deemed excess goods, and then comes back and heart and soul of everything that you'd want to see for Chelsea. He's got some decisions to make as the strengthening of the squad and the evolution of this group continues. And if we've seen some of these challenges dictate yellow cards, that certainly matches that. That's a free shot right there from Cucurella.
Following Tosin, and in the first half Reece James into the book.
And some of these unnecessary challenges and yellow cards taken, whether it's from a physical standpoint or for the verbals, it'll be interesting to see as the tournament rolls on who's going to be unavailable for a reason that absolutely could have been avoided.
Enzo Maresca was asked yesterday at the press conference ahead of this match about how to deal with the fact that this is one of the biggest games LAFC will ever play. This is Liam Delap towards the edge of the box, driving forward into the area.
Great read from Tillman.
And he said, look, the Conference League this season, we were in a similar situation. Every time we went to play anybody, it was their biggest game of the season. So we're used to facing that kind of an opponent who is up for what is going to be their biggest challenge.
Yeah, it's emphasis and it's responsibility, right? Liam Delap. Watch Tim Tillman come across, back press, effortless, great read, and good leadership and the recognition of a moment where he needs to double down and help out.
Inside the final 15 minutes in Atlanta, still only 1-0 down, LAFC. Pedro Neto's 34th minute goal for Chelsea.
Just go back to your conversation about Enzo Maresca and Conference League. It really is interesting because, in a way, Conference League might be the most important aspect of the season for Chelsea. With the reestablishment of understanding what the responsibility is of being the heavyweight favorite in virtually every... Because the reality is in the Premier League, there's only going to be a handful of games where they're not expected to walk away, whether at home or on the road, with the full 3 points. They were bloodied and they were tested and ultimately rewarded with lifting a trophy.
Palencia. Played along there by Segura. Now Delgado. This is Long. 15 shots for Chelsea, 5 of them on target. Just the 2 on target for LAFC. Tillman down the right side towards the byline against Fernandez. Tillman stabs the cross in at the back post. Giroud beaten to the ball there by Gusto, who defended it well. But now it's played through for Denny Bouanga. It's Bouanga across goal, comes back for Martinez, and Tillman on the ball, and it's across to the back post and put behind. Bouanga made the contact, but the flag was up anyway. Not sure if it was that last act or if it was earlier in the move.
Oh, they've had 3 fantastic chances in this second half against Chelsea. And these moments, Denny Bouanga, whether he was judged to initially be offside, but at this moment right here, he seems to be onside. At the end of the day, the AR on the near side raising his flag late. But LAFC starting to find important momentum in the final 12 minutes of this match.
LAFC still very much in the game against the team that finished 4th in the Premier League. LAFC's first Club World Cup experience. They're 9 unbeaten in MLS since losing at Houston in early April. They've scored multiple goals in all 9 games since failing to find the net in that game against Houston Dynamo. 22 goals in the last 9 games after 8 in the first 7. They need one here in 12 minutes plus stoppage time. Tyreek George losing out there. Martinez gets a foot to it. Palencia now. Martinez over the top.
Well, 2 data points, Luke, to keep an eye on. LAFC scoring the game-tying goal. Igor Jesus in the 90th minute. Denny Bouanga has 6 goals after the 90th minute mark.
Delap down the right, crosses in against Hollingshead. Fernandez! Chelsea have their second goal. Enzo Fernandez scores it to make sure of victory surely now in their opening game of the Club World Cup.
Oh, half opportunity in one direction, counter-attack and build-up through the other. Cole Palmer finds Liam Delap, and on his debut, picks out Enzo. Late deep-lying run, gets away on the inside from Tillman. Settles that ball down with the inside of his left thigh. Got the goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris, absolutely at his mercy. And a deft little touch gives Chelsea the 2-0 lead, 80th minute, here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
The Argentine World Cup winner with the goal. A debut day assist for Delap. 9 goals, 14 assists in now 47 appearances for Enzo Fernandez this season. You said you expected Amaya to come in for LAFC. Well, here he is.
Live only on DAZN. He silenced Britain's best. Usyk, the Brit breaker. But now, the dynamite is ready to explode. One night, one shot, and undisputed. Usyk versus Dubois 2. July 19th. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Frankie Amaya on for the final 10 minutes. And here's Denny Bouanga in round the back. Bouanga goes down. Great save in the end by Sanchez as Bouanga, under the challenge, was able to get the shot away and force Sanchez into the stop.
Well, Frankie Amaya replacing Igor Jesus. And it'll be interesting. It looks as though Mark Delgado will go centrally, play a little bit more deeper with Frankie Amaya just a little bit more tilted on that left-hand side. LAFC continues to create moments of goal-scoring ability.
This game number 1 on day 3 at the FIFA Club World Cup. Enzo Fernandez with a goal and assist in the Conference League final.
Well, it's a big switch for Mark Delgado. Gusto gets caught anticipating, and Denny Bouanga with the bump goes to ground, still gets his shot off. And every time he's been asked to be tested, Robert Sanchez is coming up big in a position of a conversation heading into next year for Chelsea.
Instant impact from Liam Delap, coming on as a second-half substitute for his Chelsea debut, and the former Ipswich man, the provider for the goal that doubles the advantage for the side from Stamford Bridge. Adding to the first-half goal from Pedro Neto. But LAFC had their chances, Dunny. Was one of the things Steve Cherundolo had talked about, not only the fact that mistakes get punished, but chances are so limited that you have to make them count when they come your way against opposition of this caliber.
Well, the reality is that while LAFC is great at simple possession, they're most effective in transition moments. And whether that's Chelsea sitting back and giving them the opportunity, or LAFC taking advantage of those opportunities.
Double change with Asugo and Nkunku coming in.
The world's greatest club is set to be crowned. Are you really going to watch without the ultimate viewing experience? See stadiums in a billion colors and feel the atmosphere around you. Upgrade to the Zone Premium now.
Moises Caicedo and Cole Palmer making way. Dario Asugo coming in. And Christopher Nkunku as well.
Well, there's conversations that Nkunku would not be involved in this trip to the United States for the FIFA Club World Cup. But an opportunity to get a good look at the 22 million pound player Dario Asugo. And this cameo appearance in the final 7 minutes or so, replacing Moises Caicedo. High hopes for the number 14.
Played in towards Kukurea, up towards halfway for Delap. Fernandez, scorer of the second goal with a crossfield switch. Neto, scorer of the first goal. Gusto. Played forward there by Asugo. Asugo again picking up the pieces. This is Kukurea with the ball in towards the edge of the box. Delgado hooks it forward down the right side. Martinez in possession. Bouanga at the far side of the box. It was almost a very good cross. Great vision from Martinez to pick out Bouanga on the far side. And here's Denny Bouanga running at Tosin as he gets towards the byline. And that one will roll out of play for a goal kick. Inside the final 5 minutes, Chelsea leading by 2-0. Bouanga with a really good chance in the second half at 1-0, forcing the save from Sanchez.
Well, the wide players have certainly been the most dangerous in this second half for LAFC.
Tillman steps past Delap and feeds the ball across Amaya. And turned over here for Delap to be able to get onto the end of this one. And Tyreek George will bring it forward, running at the heart of the back line. This ball chipped in towards the back post and just enough on the header away from Palencia to take it behind. double change coming for LAFC. Marlon, the defender. Yamal as well, as Delgado is one of the players leading the game.
They've got fresh legs in the midfield with Yamal joining the group. Marlon, defensive presence and ensuring that LAFC doesn't concede another one.
Neto with the corner, clips this one in. Lloris comes to claim. And a goal kick has been given because the ball went out of play as Neto put the cross into the middle. Tillman, the other player, leaving the game along with Delgado. Next up on DAZN, we bring you the second Group C clash as Argentinian giants Boca Juniors take on the mighty Benfica, kicking off at 6 Eastern. Watch for free. You can download the app at DAZN.com. The ball played back and Delap was almost on the end of it there as Lloris was able to bowl this one out down the right side for Palencia. Yaboa's ball wide. Picked up by Palencia, the fullback. LAFC still trying to find a goal here in the last couple of minutes. Long.
Well, the quality of Chelsea in terms of possession and threats in the offensive phase of play has really kept Sergi Palencia home. Unlike anything we see in Major League Soccer week in, week out.
Boanga's ball up towards the edge of the area. Sanchez away. Really only had to make that one big stop from Denny Boanga. Fernandez got a touch to that, and Olivier Giroud was battling, but battling too hard in the opinion of the referee, Jesus Valenzuela.
Well, we knew coming into this match, LAFC could not afford to be passive. They had to be compactful, they had to keep their shape, but they also had to press the ball. In transition moments, the best success LAFC has had is bypassing the midfielders quickly and trying to spring both David Martinez and Denny Boanga specific to this second half. But Luke, today has been about moments, and the moments have fallen in favor of Chelsea.
One of the changes they made in the second half here was bringing on Nkunku, 14 goals this season. Only Cole Palmer scored more for Chelsea. Inside the final minutes of the 90, the other two teams in this group will play the final game on day 3 at the Club World Cup. Flamengo and Esperance at 9 Eastern Time in Philadelphia. Next up for Chelsea, they'll play Flamengo. LAFC will head to Nashville to face Esperance of Tunisia. Marlon's ball finds Yamal. Push forward there by Segura. Boanga deep up against Gusto. As Boanga plays it through the middle, Giroud trying to hold that one up there. It's Olivier Giroud against Tosin on the far side. And the shots with a couple of bounces on the way through to Robert Sanchez, not troubling the goalkeeper there from Segura. Into 3 minutes being added on. How will Steve Cherundolo reflect on this from an LA point of view?
Well, I think the hope is for this group of players that the lessons learned versus Chelsea is that they prove that they can compete at this level. But can they win games at this tournament? They knew this was going to be a ruthless and difficult start. But again, with everything in the moments that maybe they fell short at, can they turn that around against Esperance and ultimately Flamengo, with 6 points available in the top 2 teams going through in Group D?
Fernandez wide to the left for Tyreek George. This is Neto. It was always likely to be how LAFC fared in games 2 and 3 of this group that would decide their fate in the Club World Cup, not what happened on day 1 against Chelsea. They've given a good account of themselves here, midway through the 3 minutes of time being added on. The game only really put out of reach with that goal just over 10 minutes from time by Enzo Fernandez, making it 2-0. Cucurella, Valencia there, is going to get a yellow card. Challenge coming in strong on Neto.
No, Sergi Palencia, much like Marc Cucurella, knows exactly what he's doing in a moment like that. Steps in front of Neto, makes no attempt to play the player, only the body. And shown what could be a really important yellow card with seconds remaining in this match.
Played through by Tosin, wonderful ball to pick out Pedro Neto, and then Nkunku towards the edge of the box. Well defended there, as Hollingshead gets it away. This is Bouanga. Bouanga running at Gusto. Giroud is in the middle if Bouanga can find him. It's a great run from Bouanga, who goes down. He looks at the referee, and you see by the way he throws his arms up there, he wanted something given. But really, the referee was never interested. Here comes Delap over halfway, already with an assist on his debut. Neto on the far side against Smallon. He'll shoot from distance. Chelsea convinced Lloris got a touch, but the whistle will go. Chelsea off to a winning start in the 2025 Club World Cup, but they were made to win.